Hello everyone, my name is Clantis and welcome to the clan. So don't ask me what am I doing at the office. I have a story, but I'll tell that story time at the end of this video. But let's get into this video because Tumelo Madlala at the North Gauteng High Court, he was dramatic. The first day he was crying, and then his crying turned into utter disrespect of the officers of the court as well as the court itself. Of course, when he was asked a number of questions where I believe he started cracking, showing very well that the defense is doing a very good job. Steve Ram is doing an excellent job. As I had said earlier, or maybe in some previous videos, is that I think the defense team is working with a strategy that this one is going to do this and this one is going to do this and this one is going to do that, and the last one will basically disintegrate the entire testimony of the witnesses that are testifying in favor of the state. So Tumelo Madlala was told straight on his face that there were never intruders that entered the house on the 26th of October 2014 where Senzo Meyiwa got killed, and of course he exploded. He said that, no, why would he lie? Why? Basically, it was an argument between Advocate Steve Ram as well as Tumelo Madlala. Of course, to a point where the judge himself interjected and looked at the witness and said, do not argue with counsel. I felt that he used the wrong language. I'm talking about the judge. The judge should have told Tumelo Madlala straight on his face that you must stop arguing with the officer of the court. And if you continue to do so, I will hold you in contempt, throw you in a cell for 48 hours while you thought about regrouping your respect for the court as well as for the officers of the law and for the officers of the court. So, of course, Tumelo Madlala apologized, but his apology was half-hearted because not long after that, he then went on, maybe at this time, I think he was addressing the judge, saying that he is sick and tired of people saying there were never intruders at the house that particular night Senzo Meyiwa was killed. Of course, you will continue to stick on this story because that's what he told South Africa. Then I'm going to stick on this story till the day I die. But then again, there are so many discrepancies what I'm going to talk about as I move along with this video that shows that there were never intruders. So when he disrespected the court, meaning now he was disrespecting the judge himself who just put him into order, I felt that, wait a minute, weren't we told that this judge is a no-nonsense type of person? But then again, I also understood his strategy because he looks like, you know, the kind of father or uncle that will give you a long rope to hang yourself. I think that is exactly what Judge Rata is doing as well. He is just giving all these witnesses a long rope to hang themselves. But where I get a little bit confused is when the defense lawyers do not say to the judge, or at least make an application to the judge and declare the witness as hostile, because Tumelo Madlala as well as Zandile Khumalo were totally hostile witnesses on the stand. But again, I thought maybe they're also going with the same strategy as the judge by not saying, hey, can you declare this witness as a hostile witness and answer questions? Because the whole point of being a witness is to assist the court with the answers that the officers of the court are going to be asking the witness. It is not for the witness when a question is posed on them, they too pose a question as an answer. It doesn't work like that. The whole job of a witness is to answer a yes or a no. That's it. Unless they are asked to elaborate on whatever the answer might be. If they say no, then they might say, okay, elaborate why you say no. That is why you would hear Nisi would want some explanation or an opinion. I think it's Mumalo as well, who would want an opinion on a particular testimony of a previous witness. And of course, being a hostile witnesses that they are, they will say, no, I'm here for me. Okay, fine, that's fair enough. But still, you should have some kind of an opinion because you were all in the same house the day Senzo Meyiwa was killed. And one of you is saying something totally different from what you are saying. Surely you should have an opinion about that type of testimony. Either you call your fellow witness a liar or you agree with them, or maybe you just be indifferent about it. So I felt that Advocate Steve was doing his job, and it was the job of the court to protect him from a hostile witness like Tumelo Madlala. So the other thing that I found very interesting from Tumelo Madlala's testimony is the fact that in his evidence in chief, when he was asked, did he see who the intruders were, he said no. But now suddenly he's so confident that he's pointing at accused number 2 and talking about the shape of his beard. And then I was like, but then in your evidence in chief, you said you did not know who shot and killed Senzo Meyiwa. So now you come into court and you are confident about accused number 2. And the biggest shocker for me was when he said, no, what I had said was, no, when he was asked about accused number 2, where does he know him from? I think that was the question. He said the first time he saw accused number 2 was in court. The first time I think he's talking about the nullified trial. That the first time he saw accused number 2 was that day. But he says something that's very interesting for me, and which of course killed the state's case. He said, at first he asked himself, where have I seen this face before? And then it came to him that, oh, this is the guy who was suspect number 2 in the house on that fateful night that Senzo Meyiwa was killed. So in my head, I was like, okay, there are so many possibilities here. Is it possible that that face, you saw it on the morning of the 26th of October 2014 at Durban Station? Is it possible that the lady, the hitchhike that you took from Durban to Spruitview, where you were going to meet Senzo Meyiwa, was one of the passengers in that car? Is it possible that this is the face that you may have seen at the tavern where you bought the alcohol before you went to Kelly Khumalo's house? Is it possible that this is the face probably you saw at the stadium while Senzo Meyiwa was playing soccer? It could be so many possibilities where you may have seen the face, but no. You just wanted to make sure that this thing that intruders never enter the house dies, and then you confidently still point at accused number 2. And then when Steve asked him, okay, fine. Accused number 2 says he has never had his beard, styled the way he had described, that it was, rounder mouth and all the other features that he had included about his beard. And then Advocate Steve said, okay, go closer to accused number 2 and see if indeed he had such a style on his face. And then he jumps and say, again, being disrespectful, I will never come close to accused number 2. I will never come close to any of these accused. They must understand one thing. I don't care. I don't care about them. And secondly, I am not afraid of them. They must understand that. And I'm like, no, sir, you were just asked by the officer of the court to go and come closer to accused number 2. Because let me tell you something, me being a man who always shapes his beard the way I do, even if when I grow my beard, you can still tell the traces of how I cut my hair. Even when I go to a new barber, all the new barber does is look closer at how do I usually style my beard. And then they'll start following the previous. Because I don't know, for some reason, you can tell, that this is how I cut my beard. So this type of thing can last for years and years. Sometimes your barber would accidentally cut through your skin, not all deep, but maybe like a little incision on your skin. And then usually if indeed this guy was wearing his beard the way I am wearing it, surely when you come closer you'll be able to tell, yeah, I can see this is how he used to cut his beard. Maybe he changed to the goatee. I think it's called the goatee. I think that's what he has currently, the goatee. And now you'll be able to tell that no, he used to cut his beard, but then no, Tumelo Madlala was like, I'm not gonna come closer to him. But then in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, Steve, don't do anything because this cannot be, admitted into evidence. I'm talking about Tumelo Madlala's outbursts. And as well that he does not want to identify a suspect, accused number 2 as suspect number 2 in the house on the 26th of October 2014. So now, indeed, Steve did not pursue him to go in front of him, but he tells Tumelo Madlala that accused number 2 says he's never had that type of style on his face with his beard. So, of course, that evidence just goes through the window for the state. Because the whole point of a witness being in the witness box is to identify the perpetrators. And if the witness is failing to identify the perpetrators, then what case does the state have? What justice is the victim is going to get when the witness does not know or wants to come close and identify the features on the face of the accused in order for Senzo Mewa to get the justice that he deserves. And in my mind, I was thinking, oh my goodness, this is probably a case of misidentification, because misidentification has gotten a lot of people serving hefty sentences of crimes they never committed. Misidentification has bodies on the ground. So probably this is exactly what is happening. And the fact that Tumelo Madlala did not confirm that accused number 2 was suspect number 2 in the house on the 26th of October 2024. Well, unfortunately for the case, that is it. So for me, those were the biggest highlights in yesterday's testimony by Tumelo Madlala. And I thought, okay, at this point, I don't think Tumelo Madlala is going to provide any tangible information that the court is looking for. It doesn't matter who is next to cross-examine him, whether it's Numalo or Mshololo, he's just going to be Tumelo Madlala disrespectful, because of course the other lawyers, especially Mshololo and Numalo, they are going to push him up the wall. Probably, I hope, if anything, he gets pushed to a confession. But of course, he said he's never going to change his statement for the rest of his life. So now, what are my thoughts regarding Tumelo Madlala's testimony this week? I don't think it helped the state in any way. I don't think any of the witnesses that have taken the stand has helped the court in any way. And already we have 50% of the people that were present in that house, and that's exactly what I was looking for. At least if we have 50% of the people were in the house, you can foretell what the other 50% is going to say. They are all going to say the same thing. They are all going to say the same thing. They are all going to talk about the intruder that never existed. They are all going to talk about features that they don't remember of suspect number 1 and suspect number 2. They are all going to point at least 1 or 2 of the accused that are sitting in the dock, and they're all going to say things that are going to be tripping over each other or copying each other. Of course, Tumelo Madlala did watch Zandi Khumalo as well as Mtogo's testimony, and that is why he was mimicking them. And then when he's mimicking them, how is that going to play in favor of the state? I think at this point in time, the state itself knows that there is no case here. And the biggest question for me, how is it possible that you were present on the 26th of October 2014 where your best friend got killed and you don't know who killed him? I don't get that part. And when you are given an opportunity to confirm and satisfy yourself as well as the court that indeed accused number 2 was suspect number 2 in the house on that fateful night, that way we know that, okay, he's confident about the identity of the accused, that he's the one that was suspect number 2 contributing to the death of Senzo Mewa. But no, we are left hanging. And his outburst and total disrespect of the officers of the court makes it a little bit difficult, I think, for the judge to also serve justice for Senzo Mewa or everybody that is affected by the death of Senzo Mewa. That includes his family. So I don't understand how is Tumelo Madlala doesn't understand that I am here for justice of my best friend that got killed in my presence. But no, he wants to run away from that fact. I have said this before and I'm saying it again. The state does not have a case. At this point in time, I think the judge should just dismiss this case and acquit the 5 men that are accused of killing Senzo Mewa. Or better yet, why don't the state, because I think at this point they realize they don't have a case, do the honorable thing, withdraw the case against the 5 men that it is accused of killing Senzo Mewa and focus its attention on the 6 people that were in that house on the 26th of October 2014 by issuing a warrant of arrest and then charge them, and then let's hear the real truth. And this thing of taking Longa Twala outside of the house is very telling that there is something that is going on here. Longa Twala, with all of the witnesses that have taken the stand, except for Ntapsang because she was not present in that house, they said that Zandi said Longwe got up and ran. But Mtogo and Tumelo said Longwe got up, walked towards a suspect number 1 who was carrying a gun, pushed him, and then he walked out of the house through the kitchen door. And he was never seen again. Now, what kind of intruders whose intention is to get what they want, and they should have been aggressive? On top of that, they should have either shot a warning shot on the roof or shot at somebody or at something to show them that they are serious. But no, they let Longwe walk out. How does that even make sense? Suspect number 2, we don't know what he's doing at this point. Zandile places him being hit with a crutches by her and her mother, but at the same time she will say, no, I could not reach suspect number 2 because I was distracted by the people in front of me, plus I'm short. I don't think I heard anything Togo said about suspect number 2. What was his duty on the night they intruded the house? And then Togo and Tumelo says that suspect number 2 was just standing there. Oh, he was just there while the Kumalo girls were busy hitting suspect number 1 with crutches. But I thought they were busy hitting suspect number 2 with crutches together with Tumelo. But Tumelo doesn't place himself at beating suspect number 2 with his crutches, or even beating suspect number 1 with his crutches. So this story does not gel, people. It's not making any sense. Going back to Longo Twala, they remove him from the house. Yet this is the same Longo Twala who sent an SMS to a relative. I think this is his father. That Senzo Mayor was killed in my presence. I think that's what the SMS says. Remember, Colonel Stein said he believes that Longo Twala was not present when... He believes that Longo Twala did not shoot and kill Senzo Mayor because Senzo Mayor was killed in his presence, meaning in Longo's presence, according to the phone record. So I don't quite understand why the witnesses are protecting Longo Twala, because think about it, the discrepancies in the story of Longo Twala walking out of the house. Okay, let's talk about these discrepancies that I personally have been thinking about all this time after all these 3 witnesses have taken the stand. I'm talking about the 3 that were present in the house on the fateful night. The first discrepancy for me is Longo getting up and then pushing suspect number 1, which should have agitated him, and then he walks out. No consequences. Discrepancy number 2, after Longo Twala realizing that they are being held up, why didn't he go and seek for help? Call for the neighbors, call 10111, or do something, but he disappears. Discrepancy number 3, I've already mentioned this one, him writing an SMS to a relative, I think it's his father, and then he says that Senzo Mayor was shot and killed in my presence. Now the question is, where is the phone record for that? Whom did he send that SMS to? Colonel Stein should have brought that to the fore so that we can see whom did he write this SMS to. A sub-question to this one is, how did Longo Twala find out that Senzo Mayor was shot and killed? If he left, he should have found out, just like the rest of us, on the news that Senzo Mayor was shot and killed in Fosloras. But no, he found out. How did he find out for him to write that SMS? And where are the phone records of the person or the number that called Longo Twala to inform him that Senzo Mayor was shot and killed? Where are those records? The other discrepancy for me is, how did Longo Twala find out which hospital Senzo Mayor was at when he got killed? The phone records should be showing us who made the call to Longo Twala and informed him that Senzo Mayor was shot and killed, and this is the hospital we are at. Another discrepancy, who called Chico Twala? Okay, I think it is the SMS that Longo Twala sent out that Senzo Mayor was shot in my presence is the one that got Chico Twala getting up, probably called. Remember, Ntabseng said a phone call came through and then she realized that it was Chico Twala on the phone. She doesn't know who of the Kumalos that had called Chico Twala because Chico Twala was returning a call. Now the question is, what did Kelly Kumalo or Zandile Kumalo say to Chico Twala when Senzo Mayor was shot and killed? The other discrepancy for me, why did Chico Twala take this matter so seriously? What was his relationship between him and Senzo Mayor? Maybe he may have had a working or business relationship with Kelly Kumalo, but I'm also interested to know what relationship did he have with Senzo Mayor that made him get up so much so for this matter to be where it is today. And secondly, the biggest discrepancy for me is Chico Twala offering Kelly Kumalo a holiday. Senzomeyo's body was still lying in that hospital. It was not transferred to Germiston mortuary at this point in time. And he's offering her a holiday. I think my last discrepancy is, where is the murder weapon? Where is the murder weapon? I heard some people say that Chico Twala had reported his gun missing immediately after the incident. So in order for these questions to be answered, I think the state need to withdraw the case against the 5 and acquit them, or the court dismiss this case for lack of evidence, and then the NPA issue a warrant of arrest for the 6 people that were present in that house. That is how they are going to be able to answer these questions that I just asked. So who are the people that were present in that house on the 26th of October 2024 and a warrant of arrest should be issued to? That is Kelly Khumalo. That is Zandile Khumalo. That is Ntombi Khumalo. That is Mthogo Twala. That is Tumelo Madlala, as well as Longa Twala. 6 people. These 6 people must be arrested, charged, and then brought before the court and then prosecuted. Because one of them know, well, not even one of them, all of them know the truth. All of them know who killed Senzo Meyiwa. This story of intruders does not exist. And then the witnesses are proving it. Each and every one of them that takes the stand proves it, that there were never intruders on that house, in that house on the 26th of October 2014. If there were ever intruders in that house, then there are bad storytellers. Bad storytellers. They got bad memory. But I don't think intruders exist. They never existed. The problem is somebody they are protecting. And that person paid. So guys, those are my thoughts. So before I go, here I am waking up today like a responsible employee. Took a shower, dressed up, and then off I left. And then as I'm traveling along the freeway, I'm asking myself, why is the freeway so empty? Why are we not stuck in traffic? Did everybody become good boys and girls and went to work early? And then I'm like comfortable, all, coming to work. I get to my building. My building, basically, they lock it. All of us have the keys to access the building in case we want to work during the weekend or during the holidays. So I have my keys. And then I'm like, okay, why the building is locked? Because usually the building, when I come, it's already open. So then I take my keys, fortunately they were in my briefcase, and then I open, and then I kind of like close behind me the one of the doors, because it's a glass door. It just closes, and then I took the elevator, it came up to my office. Then usually when I get to the office, I'm the first one, because first I need to do some videos, or maybe edit a video, or upload a video, since my Wi-Fi is seriously doing a number on me. And then about an hour later, somebody will start walking in. Now it is about 9:30, nobody is here. And I'm asking myself, where is everybody? Where is everybody? And then it hits me. Today is a public holiday, Women's Day. Here I am at the office. But it's a good thing, because I'm able to do a video, and then I'm just going to edit it and send it out. So don't judge me. I'm not trying to be a goody two-shoe. It just so happened that I forgot that today is the 9th of August, 2023. And I just want to say to all the women of South Africa, happy Women's Day. You guys are the best. I don't care who says what. Anyways, guys, if you like the video, give it a like. If you didn't like the video, give it a like. Anyways, do subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to click the bell notification so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. My super thanks are turned on, and thank you so much to everybody that's super thanking this channel and supporting it financially. And also, I just want you to leave me a comment down below and let me know, what do you think thus far? We already have 50% of the witnesses. Do you think the other 50% are going to tell us the truth? And I'm very much interested to hear your thoughts on that one. Please do share this video far and wide. And also thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time with a new video. Goodbye.